of the hundreds of products you can export and sell abroad, which will make you a millionaire? Let's find out. Now, there are hundreds of products you can sell from Africa and export abroad and earn in dollars. Now, I say this because I have seen many products that are all around us here in Africa. You know, products that you can get for like $1 in Africa and sell abroad for $10, $15, $20. I have seen many products like that. But the key is you need to understand the various channels you can sell these products. You know, you can sell online platforms like Amazon, eBay. Many of them are out there, right? You can sell direct to consumers. I've seen people do it. You can sell to African stores. You can sell to US retail stores. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. This video is going to help you to determine that right product you can export. Like I said, there are thousands of products, but for you to be smart, for you to go from $100 to $10,000, for you to become that millionaire via export, you need to be able to select the right product. You need to be able to look at the hundreds of products and say, you know what, this one is the one that is going to make you a millionaire. You need to be able to look at it and say, oh, there is something about this product. There is a demand for this product. I can make more profit. I can ship this cheaper. I can warehouse this. This has a long shelf life. And those are the factors that is going to make you a millionaire via export. It's not about selling the first product that you see. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Even if you are an already existing exporter, so basically you have products you are exporting now, I can tell you what I'm going to show you in this video can take that product and make it a lot more profitable. There are going to be things that you will tweak in that product and it will increase your profitability. Now, I had a lady who was trolling me on Instagram. In one of the videos, I talked about how you can sell products on e-commerce platform, particularly Amazon. She was like, no, you're lying. Amazon is a ripoff. You know, they take all your profit, you sell a product for X, and by the time they are giving you your net return, it's like 5 or 10% of what it was. She was really bitter. And it was very easy. What she had was a unique luxury product, and she had made a huge packaging box for it. It was a fashion product, right? She was using a very big box to package it. Now, the only thing we did to that product to increase our profitability was we reduced the size of the packaging. And customers were still able to receive it. In fact, we saved about 85% off on the packaging size. That had a drastic effect. It reduced her cost of delivery to customers from, I think, about $22 a piece to about $7. So she started getting $15 extra per product that she shipped, right? So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. If you are new to this channel, obviously, you know, subscribe, because again, I share a lot of information that is going to help mainly African businesses to expand their business and become more profitable selling in the US and a lot of other things. The first way is, one, select the right product. That is the first way. And the second one is sell in multiple channels. This is the key. I'm going to break this down so that you understand. Now, I'm going to start with the second one first before we go to the first one. Now, what do I mean by sell in multiple channels? Now, if you have a product and you're trying to make money, you're trying to become a millionaire, you cannot sell in one place. You must have multiple channels to sell in. So, for example, you must be able to sell on a place like Amazon. Right now, how many of us understand how Amazon works? This is very vital, right? Probably about 95% of sellers on Amazon, they use the Amazon FBA, right? So again, if you are choosing a product, so that's why these two work. You can't just sell anything on Amazon. You must be able to sell a product that is right for the platform. If you are a seller, this is the Amazon FBA. You have to first ship your products to Amazon's warehouse, right? And then from Amazon's warehouse, as buyers buy, Amazon ships to customers, right? If there's any issue, the customers will ship it back to Amazon. Now, Amazon is going to charge you for all those returns and everything. So why does this happen? Does it make sense for you to be selling a product for $20 and you're just getting $4 back? You can't hit that revenue target that you're looking for. You can't become a millionaire if you're selling the wrong products. Now, I'm going to talk more about this when we get into selecting the right product, but it's important for you to understand that for you to become a millionaire via export, you must be able to sell in multiple channels. You have platforms like Walmart. Walmart is trying to compete seriously with Amazon. I think Amazon does about 35-40 billion every month in sales. Walmart, as of the last time I checked, is about 4-5 billion a month now in sales, because again, they have the infrastructure. You can buy on walmart.com and pick it up from your nearest Walmart. So they are trying to really compete with Amazon, and they are looking for people to sell. In fact, I'm going to do a video on how to sell your products on Walmart, because again, this is going to be another huge opportunity for Africans, for people to sell their products. You need to consider selling direct. And this is one key aspect that you need to understand. So direct to customers. How does this work? The only way this can work for you is if you have what I call local warehousing. This is you somewhere in Africa, maybe you are from Ghana or from Nigeria or from South Africa. Now, if you want to sell direct to customers, and this is one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make, they are waiting for somebody to reach out to them. They buy a product. Let's say this is the customer here. So this is the customer here. What most people think, especially those of you who are starting businesses, is that when the customer orders from your store, you can now ship it directly to the customer. Now, a lot of you do this, and again, I call those passive exporters. You need to learn the difference between being a passive and an active exporter. A passive exporter is one who is just sitting down there waiting for products, for orders to come in, and then they have to ship it. Now, that product could be selling for $8. And you may see situations where it's going to cost you $50 because, again, you are using some of those services, DHL, FedEx, or UPS to ship it. They are not cheap. So at the end of the day, the customer is seeing a bill for $58 for a product they can get in the store, for maybe $15 or $20. What happens? They buy once from you and they never come. So what is the best way to become a millionaire, to make more money by selling direct to consumers? And again, a lot of you have social media pages. You have TikTok pages. You have Instagram pages that you can advertise your product. Those are global platforms. Somebody in the USA, they see your product on TikTok. They see your product on Instagram. They want to buy from you. Now, we have a solution to that. And let me show you. The solution is to have what I call local warehouse. And we have this local warehouse in the USA. So what you do is you ship in certain quantities. Maybe you ship 100 pieces at once, right? Now, by the time you use ocean to ship this, you're going to see that that product that you're shipping for $50 via air for every single order, you're probably going to ship it via ocean for $2 a piece. Look at how much you've already saved. Now, because it's in the local warehouse, now the cost to now ship it to the customer can drop to like maybe $8 or so, or, depending on the size of the item. So what is it costing you? $2, $8 is costing you a total of $10 to use this method versus $50 to do this. And these are ways, these are solutions that we have for African businesses. Again, I have a video in the link where I talk about using our warehouse solution to increase your profit. Now, take a look at this. If you are a customer who is currently doing this and you are selling, say, 100 pieces per month, there's a company I was looking at in Ghana. They sell shea butter direct from Ghana, and they're using DHL and other services to ship it direct to the customer. If they adopt this model, look at, in one product alone, they've saved $40. Multiply that by 100. That means in a month, they've saved $4,000. And we are talking about what? Taking you from 100 to $10,000 a month. Just by using this method, you've already added $4,000 to your profitability. Being an exporter requires you to understand some of these things. And these are solutions that we have built that can help take you to the next level. Sell to African stores, again, because you are from Africa, right? And then you can also sell to US retail stores. These two stores are about the same thing, but there are some differences when you are dealing with some of this. And one of the things a lot of people think is that it is very difficult to sell to retail stores. No, especially now with the Trump tariff and all that is going on, there is a huge opportunity. A lot of retail stores are looking for suppliers from other countries. They can't rely on Mexico, they can't rely on Canada, they can't rely on China. Africa is the key. So if you have an African business and you're trying to understand how to break into some of these people, send me a message. I have a link there where I do consultations for companies, who want to break into the US market. Click that link, reach out to me. I will talk to you one-on-one. Africa, we have so much opportunities that we're not using. A lot of the African store owners, they have family and friends back home. So one of the things you're going to see is that when you are giving them a price, right? So you want to sell to this African store for $10. They're going to tell you, oh, but my brother back home can buy it for $3. And they'll just tell their brother back home to buy and send to them, right? So you need to understand how to sell to some of these stores. I'm not going to go in depth here because, like I said, we have more detailed programs. If I were to go in depth into how to sell to African stores or US retail stores, this video is probably going to be 3-4 hours, which most of you don't want, right? So again, there are various ways. You can even sell to wholesalers, right? You can decide to become a wholesaler because there are people out there who already have the distribution, right? Reach out to them and say, look, let me sell to you. That is how you go from $100 to $10,000 in export proceeds. That is how you go from being broke to becoming a millionaire via export. You need to understand how to sell in multiple channels. And again, I have more in-depth videos in the description that is there to help you. Like I said, if you need help, if you're a business, you have products, you are struggling, you are suffering from, high shipping costs, right? Anytime you want to ship your product, you are paying 50 times or 10 times what the cost of the product is. Reach out to us. And we'll be able to show you these solutions. A lot of these solutions are already in software. You're going to be able to sit down from the comfort of your home and have buyers distribute these products. We have the software solutions for all this, right? So this is one of the ways you need to sell in multiple channels. Don't sell in one place. You need to be able to sell on Amazon, sell on eBay. All these things are easy. I'm going to use practical examples, right, to demonstrate how to select the right product. So let me grab a couple of products that I have here by the side, right? I'm going to use practical examples. So you see these 3 products. One of it is palm oil. This is a product that a lot of people are wanting to sell. Anytime I do a training, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to sell palm oil. It's not about selling the product that is everywhere. It's about being smart in selecting the right product. Now, this is cashew nuts, and this is peeled almond. So these are products that are readily available here in Africa, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a quick method to determine which of these to sell. So the first one is the palm oil. The next one is the cashew nut. And the last one is the peeled almonds. What do we see here? Now you are a new exporter or an existing exporter, right? You want to go into export. Now you have these 3 products. Now it could be 10 products, it could be 20. It's the same methodology, but let's start with these 3 products. Each of them cost about what? About $3. And the good thing, a lot of these products, these could be products you don't even manufacture. Right? So the first thing you have to do before you say, okay, this is the product I'm going to sell, is to look at the demand. And I've shown you guys a lot of times how to find demand. Now I'm going to go to my computer. Let's deal with this product to see how the demand comes in. And I'm going to go to Amazon now to know the real demand for this product. I recommend using a tool such as Helium 10 or Jungle Scout. Now, there are other ways you can do this by just looking at the number of people who are reviewing it, the number of times it was bought. So, for example, if this product, I click on it, right, is going to take me to the product. I'm going to see that about 400 of it is bought in the last month. Now, that's a good value, right, if you're selling 400 pieces of this. But it's not just about selling 400. We also need to determine how much they are making for each one they sell. So if I go to Helium 10, I use a tool called Black Box Research, right? And I can just use the advanced. Now, this is not a training that shows you how to do this, right? And now type in red palm oil. You can go online and see how to run this analysis for products that you're thinking of selling. Again, it's important you know that there is a demand for the product. So now you see various products, and I can just click here and it's going to arrange it in order of the revenue. So again, you see right there, this is doing about 11,000 a month, 8,000. So you have different prices on that. I'm going to go to sell.amazon.com, right? And I will click on pricing. For those of you who sell on Amazon, these are tools that you're going to know about. Go to revenue calculator, try the revenue calculator. I'm going to sign in as a guest. Right, number 2. So I'm going to copy here the ASIN again. I go back to the revenue calculator. I put in the details and I search. So it's come out now. It's shown me the product. Now it shows you that this product is selling for $14.99. These are estimated Amazon fees, right? If you are using Amazon fulfillment, and that's what most people use. So at the end of the day, you see that a product that is selling for $14.99, right, after Amazon takes all their fees, you are left with about $6.51, right? One of the things we have seen is that this product is doing about 11,875, so it's doing reasonably well, but it may not be the best volume that it is doing, right? So let's go to the next product. So I'm going to go back to Amazon again, and I'm going to type in the next product is what? Cashews. It's obviously going to bring up all various forms of cashews. Again, you can see the reviews. Clicking on it will show you how many of it is being bought. Look at that. This one is selling a lot. But let's now go back to Helium 10, and I'm going to edit search again. So like I did before, I'm just going to change that to cashews, and I apply, and it's going to bring out the sales for those type of products. It's calculating. Boom, there you go. So again, now you see that this product is doing what? Like 500,000 a month. And these are just cashews, right? Cashew. So what does that tell you? It tells you that there's a huge demand for this. And if you can get the product right, get the packaging right, get the branding right, you have huge, bigger market for this selling online than you have for palm oil. So this is $14, doing $64,000 a month. Let's copy that ASIN, right? Copy that ASIN, and I go to the revenue calculator, search another product. I put the values in and I search. So now it's giving me the pricing. All right. So again, you take a look at this product. It says you're selling it for about the same price that you sold that palm oil. But here you're making close to $2 more per unit, right? Because again, this is FBA. So again, this is more profitable for you to sell, and it has to do with the weight of the product, right? So that is that. Again, we see that there's a huge higher, more demand for cashews. So I will probably like to sell a product that I know if I can get the pricing right and everything right about it, there's a lot of people looking to buy it. Now let's take a look at the last product, and the last product is almonds. Remember, just a $2 difference can make a big deal. If you're making $2 different per pack, and you have to sell 100 packs, 1,000 packs. It's a lot of money. So now it tells me that almonds are doing pretty well. Look at that, 1.5 million, selling almonds. Obviously, a higher demand for this than the other ones, right? Now we use Amazon to run this demand analysis because, again, we can't go to any African store and tell them, oh, send us the sales history. So it's easy for us to use this. And again, for most of you, e-commerce is the way to go, right? So whatever works on Amazon is going to work in the e-commerce space, right? So that is that. So you now see these 3 products. We have done this. Now, the next thing we need to look at is the weight. The weight. Remember, these products cost me the same thing. Which of them is going to be the easiest to ship, to deliver to the customer? This only weighs 200 grams. This weighs 600, and this is 2 kilograms, 4 pounds. So what does it mean? If we look at in terms of the weight, this is going to be the best option. So I'm going to give it 3 points, right? Followed by this 2 points. And this is going to be the worst, 1 point, right? So we're breaking it down here. Now, the next thing you're going to look at is the volume. Remember, right? You are exporting these products all the way to the USA. So even if you are shipping via ocean, right, the volume also affects your shipping cost. Let me take you back. Remember when we talked about here, right, using this process to save money, we talked about shipping via ocean. If you are shipping via ocean, you are going to be billed based on what? The volume, the space that it takes, right? So if you look at these 3 products, this is going to be the worst in terms of volume, right? So this, again, is going to have the least score. This is going to have the second, and this is obviously going to have the third. That's the volume. Now let's take a look at what? Packaging cost. This is important if you are the manufacturer of the product. You have a manufacturing facility where you can decide to make any product. Which of these has the highest packaging cost? Still this, right? So let's take a look at it. It has the worst score because, again, if you're making $3 as the net profit or maybe $10 as the net, it's probably going to cost you maybe 50 cents to buy this packaging. It's going to cost you maybe 20 cents for this. And it's probably going to cost you 8 cents for this. So at the end of the day, you get the most profit from this. So let's take a look at it again. It's still the same thing. This is the best in terms of packaging, right? Now, let's take a look at another thing, availability. Remember one thing, when you are selling on platforms like Amazon, right, and other e-commerce platforms, or you are selling to African stores, US retail stores, one of the things that is important is for you to have a product that can be available all year round. Let's use Amazon, for example. If you start selling a product, it's going to take about 3 months for you to, reach a certain level, maybe get to the first page of the product sale, because the algorithm, has a lot of effect on that. I'm going to do another video on all those things on Amazon. But the key thing is that it's going to take a while. So you don't want to sell a product that is seasonal. A product that, today it's available, tomorrow is not available. These 2 products are seasonal. I don't know about this, but again, a lot of these products are seasonal. In Africa, most of the time, palm oil, there's a season where you have it, where you can buy it at a cheaper price. Even the cashew nuts, they have seasons, but I'm not too sure, right? So since I'm not too sure of that, I can say give each of them 1 point. But if you had a product that is available all year round, then probably they will have the 3 points or something like that. Now, shelf life. Let's look at shelf life. These are factors. So we're trying to determine which is the best product to sell. Which of these products will last longest on the shelf? In that case, I believe the palm oil is probably going to be the best here. I've known palm oil can last for years and years. So in this case, yes, this has 3 points. These ones are about the same. It just depends on the quality of the packaging. They don't last forever. So I can give each of these maybe 2 points. Just a simple way. If you now come here and add up all of this, right? It's a simple way to do it. In our advanced training, we have ways that we go deeper into this. And it's not just these factors. I'm going to tell you some of the other factors that you see, right? So if you look at this, obviously, this is going to be the best product. This is going to be your first choice. This is going to be your second choice. And this is going to be your third choice. Take a look at this. If you sell this on any e-commerce platform, then all of this cost about the same. Say we decide to sell each of these $20, 20, and 20, right? What is going to happen? By the time you remove the shipping cost for this, the shipping cost of this is going to be what? Probably $11 or $12. So you have like what? $8 left out of the 20. And then by the time you remove maybe the Amazon fees or whatever platform you're selling, you're probably going to have a return of about $4 for a product that you're selling for 20. Take a look at this, right? You're selling it for 20. The shipping cost, by the time you remove the shipping cost for this could be maybe $7, and then they take their net charge. So at the end of the day, you're going to make a profit that is obviously better than this. But for this, you're selling it for 20. They're probably going to charge you maybe $5 to ship it. So that's 15 left. If they take their charge, maybe $3, you're going to get back about $12 as your net profit. And that's the way you become a millionaire via export, selecting the right product. So at the end of the day, each of this is selling for $20. You're getting a return. Your net profit of about $5 selling this, you're getting a net profit of about what? Maybe $8 or $9 selling this. But this, you're getting $12. So which makes sense? If you want to become successful, this is the model that works. Send the product to our warehouse. Now, we are developing a platform called africannatural.com, and it's going to be like the Amazon for African businesses, right? You can see more details on it in the description below. We have a strict criteria to accepting customers who want to sell on that platform. So again, these are some of the ways. Now, you have seen the two key things that will affect how you make profit. What will take you from that $100 in profit to $10,000 to $100,000 to $200,000 to $1 million and make you a millionaire via export. So again, don't just jump into any product you see. You have to follow these processes. If you want to talk to me because you're trying to take your product into the US, Canada, or any of the markets abroad, you can book a consultation and I will be ready to help you. If you have a product that you're currently selling, we can also help you tweak it, right? So that you go from selling a few to selling thousands. I have another video where I talk about how to sell other people's products. Right? Again, you don't have to be the manufacturer. I have the video. The link is up there. Click it. It's going to show you how to sell other people's product and make thousands selling it the right way. Right? So again, if you enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe. Click the subscribe button, and I'll see you another time.